The season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Be a long day for you.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Bryce Love. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting the tone early for his defense.
On 2nd and 15 now. Rodgers into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. He's at the 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Hey, you block over here.
On second down, Love. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, here's Love. Not a whole lot of room to run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the great move. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 26. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now Rodgers lets it fly for Thielen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Check. He's checking. Crash. Check 26. Watch twist. Hey, alert 3.
2nd and 13. Flush to his right. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
46 to Mike. All that. Mike 46. Bandit.
Looking to throw. Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got a 1st and 10 at their own 25.
Watch the ship.
Hey, Charlie.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Check it back, check it back.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
On second down, it's Cook. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the slant, watch the slant. Check. Switch. Rush in.
A toss to Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. He's going to fire one deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he will find a man here as Thomas comes open. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Bravo!
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. We're out of time to change things. On 2nd down now, it's Love, and he'll get this down only to the 18. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Throwing is Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. Thomas, the intended target.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. No. Guaranteed the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Now he'll go deep down the middle. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down.
36. Switch it. Come on. Check. Crunch.
They run it again with Cook. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And it brings up 3rd down.
To throw on 3rd down, Fields. And that's caught by Smith. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Got it. 46. Come off the ball. Slam. Under 10. 10.
On first down, Cook. And an alley to run. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings have taken the lead. He's given them a little jolt, just gave them the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Rodgers. Going to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking long for Thomas. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping. Check 24. Check 24. Check. Kill. Hey. Shit. Squeeze. Shit.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Off play action. Fields escaping the pressure right. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Love again. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 there, and a New Orleans 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 10.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check. Lucky. Bang, 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 bang.
Again, it's Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, forthcoming. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7. At the 40-yard line.
41's the mark. 41's the mark. Check. 40.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Rodgers. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run on 1st down. Love. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
No. 258. That's a screen. Pass.
On play action, Rodgers. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Check hot route. Hot. Shift. Switch. Check 99.
And to give this time to the tailback. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. Gets past one man. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Check.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
Focus, defense, focus. Watch twins. Hey, alert 3. Watch the zone. Hey, watch the shift.
So they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And an alley to run. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Minnesota, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.